guys, welcome back to today's podcast. We need to talk about how Lil Tay be poppin'. But before we talk about that, please rate and review, subscribe, because I'm trying to hit 500 on YouTube, and show all the love, as well as go follow my Instagram, soliamechling, and Current Crisis. I have so many amazing things coming down the pike, especially next year, so please be looking out for that. And anyway, I'm so excited. Starting out with Lil Tay, who is she, what does she do, and how has she become so viral yet again? So, Lil Tay surfaced as the youngest flexer in the country when she was around 9 years old, with viral, brash rap videos flaunting wealth, faded after a custody battle, and widely circuited death hoax in 2023. On her 18th birthday, July 29th, she launched content on OnlyFans at 12 a.m. Within 3 hours, she claimed to have made over $1 million. You guys, $1 million. This is wild. Including $500K from subscriptions and almost $500K from direct messages, as well as $27K in tips. Absolutely wild. Her family's reaction. Her father, attorney Christopher Hope, affirmed that she is now an adult capable of making her own decisions, offered support, and indicated awareness that not everyone will approve. And it's not even about the fact that everyone will approve, but if you go onto my Instagram, I'm talking about Lil Tay as well in a Get Ready With Me, and I'm talking about the fact that what is wild is that 2 weeks ago, before she posted her OnlyFans, this girl would have been considered a minor. A minor. She was 17. This girl would have been considered a minor, and it would have been illegal for men to have photos of her, to pay for her to sell her body. And now, because of 2 weeks later, the fact that she's 18, she's now capable of doing this, and the sick men that are buying this, it is absolutely wild to me. It is disgusting to me. And her father needs to actually have a spine and stand up for his daughter and tell her that there are other ways of becoming a millionaire versus just selling your body. And I'm sorry, but it is one of the most degrading works out there. And I understand that women, some of these women, have to make ends meet. They have to do something. But that does not include selling your body. And for Lil Tay, she had a career in social media already. She could have done other things besides going to OnlyFans, but this was her decision. And it is just so wild to me that she chose to go into OnlyFans. OnlyFans is almost this loophole of pornographic content and something that seems more personalized, but it is a fantasy. And I would highly recommend all of you go listen to Nala Ray. I was actually able to talk to her when I met her at the Young Women's Leadership Summit, and she is so incredible and just has such a heart for the Lord now. But if you listen to her story, she talks about the fact that she was, I believe, in the top 1% of OnlyFans earners, and she was like, these people that think they're talking to me, these people that think they have a relationship to me, I don't even know them, I don't know their name, I don't know anything. These are being outsourced to third-party people that are chatting. It's being outsourced to bots, and it's truly just a fake fantasy of the fact that men think they're having a sort of relationship with the people like Lil Tay and Bonnie Blue, and the truth is they're not. And yet at the same time, it's simultaneously hurting the women that are posting themselves, and it's hurting the men that are buying into this content. And for me as a Christian, it's so devastating seeing her family just saying that they're backing her up or that she's an adult now. But it's the fact that women are using their God-given bodies to sell out for men that will never care about them. And the Bible is very clear on this. You know, marriage is between one man and one woman, crossing the boundaries between pornography. The Bible says that if you even think about adultery with another woman, then that's just as bad as committing it in real life. And it's so sad because OnlyFans is, like I keep saying, this portal between pornography and a personalized relationship with someone, but they don't even know them in real life. For women, the OnlyFans can offer support and bodily autonomy is what I pulled up on Google. And Google saying that for women, it offers financial opportunities and bodily autonomy, but at the same time, it exposes them to exploitation, harassment, and psychological distress. As women, we cannot pretend that having a relationship with a man will not affect us. That's just not how God created us to be. When you have relationships with people like this, when you sleep with someone, that is such a soul connection. It is not something that you can flippantly do, especially not for women, because our biology is set up different than men. And people like Call Her Daddy and Alex Earl and all of those people will try to convince young women that it's just a number, it's just a body count, it's not actually going to affect you. Yet at the end of the day, it does. It does take a toll on women. It does. And we have seen it over and over again. And these women feel like they're in bondage because OnlyFans, and they're earning so much money. Yet they feel like they can't walk away from this. There's nothing okay about OnlyFans. And it needs to be banned. It is controlling men, it is controlling women, and it is giving this fake fantasy of what it feels like to have a relationship with someone, yet you will never know them. Again, back to Nala Ray. She began as somebody who was in church, I believe. She was a pastor's daughter and earning in the top 1% an estimated $14 million. Which is just absolutely wild, earning her $87,000 in her first month, which again is just wild. Nowhere near Lil Tay's $1 million, but still a huge amount of money. Her breaking point in conversations: after tumultuous upbringings, abuse, and family trauma, she found redemption through faith, shut down her account, and embraced Christianity, which I just love Nala so much. She's so sweet and willing to talk to every single girl, every single guy that has questions for her, that wants to talk to her. Her husband is so sweet, and you can tell that they are such a power couple and a couple for the Lord. And I love that God redeemed her story, and he can do that with Lil Tay. But I think what is so devastating on here is Lil Tay was just so young when she was in the limelight. And we see this with JoJo Siwa, and we're seeing it with Lindsay Lohan as she makes her new appearance with the Freakier Friday. Is that young girls and young men shoved into the limelight too early, and it devastates them. It's totally devastating. I mean, even Piper Raquel and all of these young people, young influencers that are making money off of social media, that are making money in Hollywood, off of personalities and stuff like that, I would say 9 times out of 10, it leaves them worse off than before, because they crave that popularity, they crave the feeling of being known and wanted and loved and having money and having fame. And I think for Lil Tay, this was her trying to branch out, her trying to get even more money, even more fame. And this kind of reminds me of all the things that have happened with JoJo Siwa. She started out, she said she was a gay icon, and I truly believe she was felt pressured into that because of her start with Dance Moms and how widely she was loved and hated. She was very polarizing even on her start as a young girl. And that grew into her continuously feeling like she had to make headline news. So for her, that was becoming a gay icon. Then when she, started this new television show, she said, well, maybe I'm just bi, maybe I'm just fluid, maybe I'm just who I am. Then it came out that she was dating a man. And then it came out that she was kind of almost having this trad wife look and personality. And she got slammed for that as well. And so if us as conservatives cannot be consistent and just say wrong is wrong, and people that are on OnlyFans, it's not okay, people that are exploiting their own bodies are not okay, and not that Sydney Sweeney in any way is similar to selling her body off of OnlyFans, but I will say this: while Sydney Sweeney is a grown woman and it is okay for her to choose, right? It is okay for Lil Tay and these women to choose. They are adults, because what are you going to do? Yet people in their lives should tell them that this is not a way to make money. This is not a way to allure men. And honestly, I had no problem with the American Eagle ad, other than the fact that she talks in this very sultry tone and she sexualizes herself, again with the bathwater incident and things like that. And I know conservatives, and I know things that, I said before back in the day too, this is Sydney Sweeney, this is kind of how she is. But at the end of the day, it is not okay to be extremely sexual. And that's just really what I have to say about this. It's so sad seeing Lil Tay start out, because her and JoJo Siwa kind of started out being very polarizing figures, being very, very popular at such a young age, and it's like they fell off, with the death hoax and all those things, and JoJo Siwa kind of falling off after being on Dance Moms, and then they have to resurface. And for JoJo Siwa, that was kind of saying that she was a gay icon. For Lil Tay, I feel like it's her being on OnlyFans, and I don't think women actually feel like this is empowering, if I'm being honest. I don't think they think that it's actually the right thing to do. I think deep down, there is a part of every single woman that feels like they do this to prove someone wrong. They do this to make money. They do this to be rebellious. They do this to get in the limelight. And they seem okay with it, yet deep down there's always this side that's going to be, unfortunately, them feeling the effects of doing this, them feeling the effects of toying with their own bodies and selling it. And it's not how God created us as women to be. God created every single person to just be with one person. He did not say that we could be with all these other people. And that is also where social media gets you. It makes you feel like you can get with all these other better options than the person that God actually has for you. And if we all just started going back to the Word of God, we all started saying that no, pornography and OnlyFans is not empowerment and there are other ways to live your life. And if we actually supported the women that get out of it, like Nala Ray, like supporting her story instead of saying, well, weren't you an OnlyFans person, and holding her to that past, because that is what the devil does. The devil holds people to their past. When these women get out of these things, we need to be there for them. We need to support them. We need to call them higher. And if we truly actually cared about these women, Lil Tay, get out of OnlyFans and find your true identity in Jesus Christ. You're not going to find it in money. You're not going to find it in fame. You're not going to find it in these men messaging you and asking to buy you. That is not how you find your identity. That is never how you will find your identity, because once you get older, once you start having wrinkles, once your body doesn't look the same, if you want to have kids, you cannot find your identity in looking a certain way, acting a certain way, and owning a certain thing, because that is a foundation built on sand and shifting tides. It is not a firm foundation. And if you build your foundation in Jesus Christ, we wouldn't be dealing with the things we are today.